Hey YouTube! We are kind of out of projects right now.
I'm Sarah, and this is Travis. We've moved 7 times in the last 6 years and are currently renovating our 3rd house with our 3 boys and our Old English sheepdog. Follow along as we renovate our house and raise our boys.
Hi, Chucky. No toes. Ah!
That's him.
Ah!
Subscribe and join us on our next adventure.
We've more or less finished our master bathroom and master bedroom. And so now I either need to dive into the outside of the house, which is going to be a huge project, or there's a lot of little to-dos around the house. One of which is I have a couple extra holes in my ceiling where I was going to put can lights, and then we ended up moving them. This is downstairs in our hallway. I also have, Winston's going to help me too, by the way. Come here, Winst. I also have some holes where the kids have been playing too hard. I also have never caulked some of the baseboards and stuff like that. So hopefully this doesn't make it too hard to record or uninteresting in our videos to knock out some of these little jobs. But that's what I'm probably going to be doing for the next little while. What I want to do today is a how-to on how to patch drywall holes, because every single homeowner is going to have to be doing that. I'm sure there's a million videos out there. This will be as simple as I can make it, and it is really simple. And yeah, let's get started. So my first step I already did off camera here, but again, I thought I was going to put a can light here, so it's a pretty circle hole, but then we moved it over to there. So I've put in some backing. It's just a little bit of wood. Screw on either side. Now I cut out, I'll have to clean this up a little bit when I have both hands, but I cut out a perfect circle. I'm going to screw that up in there now. And then I'll show you the next step. I have a drywall Phillips head bit in my zip gun here, my impact gun. That little shoulder there prevents you from driving the screw in too far and ripping through the backside of your drywall piece. So that is kind of not super necessary, but really, really handy to have. So now just with the drywall blade, I'm going to scrape off the high points. Next, you're going to get some fiber tape, I think is what it's called. But it's just in the drywall section at any Lowe's or Home Depot. And it is a mesh tape. I like this better than the paper tape. Especially if you're beginning, I would think this would be far easier. And you're going to want to place this tape on the seams. The tape helps prevent cracking. It gives it a little bit of strength. It also gives the drywall mud a good textured surface to stick to. Are you guys done cleaning your room yet?
No. I'm already done cleaning the bathroom. I have $5.
Okay. Good for you about the $5, but you're supposed to be cleaning your rooms.
I don't want to.
Yeah. We'll clean it fast so we can go have fun. We can't have fun without doing our chores. As a side note, Home Depot sells patches that come in like 6-inch circle patches that you could put over the top of this. Those are way expensive. This is far cheaper, does the same job. Okay, now let's go on to our next hole. Get to the same point here.
Dad, remember Winston was like drinking out of the toilet?
Yeah, I do remember him doing that a time or two.
He like...
Okay, same idea here. Now I could put in a backing here. In fact, I should go around and see if that'll be really easy or hard to do. If it's easy to do, I'm going to do it. If it's hard to do, or if you can't get access to it, this is a small enough hole that I wouldn't worry about putting backing on. And I can get easy access to that, so I actually am going to do that. Okay. Still a little indent, but that has some backing to it. Okay, you want to make sure you cover all this with this mesh tape really good. The mesh tape in this instance is what's going to give this little indented hole the most strength. Now, let me go mix up some drywall mud and we'll come back to this. They're trying to knock me down the stairs. Who has an empty water bottle they can put a little water in and dump some water in here? Or can go get a cup even. Someone go get a cup and fill it with some water.
How's it coming out with the water? How's it really dried out?
Let me see the
Bless
chunks
you.
in there.
Yeah.
It's dry.
Dry?
Thank you.
I wish you did. It's get in it.
So now that we've prepped our hole and got a hair stuck in it, then you mix up some mud. I prefer this blue mud. It's called topping, and it just seems to give you a top layer that's better. It's smoother, less bubbles, stuff like that. And I use this all the way through. This stuff is really old, so there's chunks in it. That won't matter for this first coat. I won't be able to use this for the final coats, though. It won't give me a smooth finish. I'm just going to want to kind of push that mud into the hole as best I can. This first coat is not very critical at all. You just want to give it a good thick coat. Even if you're taller than the wall by just a little bit, not a lot, that's better than being too short and having to do multiple coats. Another thing to note, even though my hole's right here, by the time I'm done with coats on this, I'm going to have drywall mud to that edge and probably way out another foot this way. That's to blend this. This is kind of textured because of years of paint. So that's kind of to blend the texture difference so that it's less noticeable. That's going to kind of dry and shrink, and then my next coats will go over the top of that. Now I'm going to have you guys do some of the hole patches. You want to start at the bottom going up like that. Those scraped marks too you need to fill. Okay, now just try and smooth that out. That's pretty good. I wouldn't even touch any more because you're not going to get it better than that.
Oh, yeah?
Nope, the hole right there.
Oh.
Oh, don't get on the baseboard. Don't get it on this.
Okay.
On the door trim.
I'm getting on.
Do you not see it?
Oh, I see it.
It's alright.
Let me hold your hand for a second.
There you go.
That's a bad idea.
That looks good. Now let me scrape one more time. It's okay, it'll wash off. Okay, now smooth it out as best you can. Okay, so these little holes that Lincoln just filled, those might suck in a little bit, might not, just depending on the size of the hole. So they could be done right now. I'll just let it dry and sand it, and it's done. If it does need another coat, you just use a tiny little bit, You can spread that out bigger if you need to blend it so it doesn't stand out on the wall. And then these bigger holes are definitely going to need more coats. So this is how you patch holes that little boys cause.
Dad caused one upstairs though.
I did actually. I put my knee through the hole.
I did a bigger one than Dad right there.
Yeah, that was Lincoln.
I was like,
Thanks for watching Home Free Family. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Did you just fart?
Okay, let's try again.
see you next week.